boys and girls, we're going to read a story about Abraham Lincoln. It is by Sonia Black and illustrated by Carol Heyer. So as we're reading, we're going to think about, is this story a narrative, is it informative, or is it an informative narrative? I know that it's a narrative when it has a character, setting, and plot. I know that it's an informative when it gives me information about a topic, and I know that it's an informative narrative when it does both. It gives me information about a topic while telling a story with a character, setting, and plot. Let's read about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809 in a log cabin in Kentucky. His happy parents called him Abe. Abe's 2-year-old Sarah loved him right away. The family was very poor, but they were hard workers. The Lincolns grew food on their farm. Young Abe became a good helper. "I will plant too," he said. He planted vegetable seeds. At first when I was reading, I was thinking that the story was going to be an informative because it was giving me facts about Abraham Lincoln. But now I think it's going to be an informative narrative because Abraham Lincoln is actually talking now. He says he will plant too. So that makes him a character. The setting is his family's log cabin, and it looks like we might find out some more information about Abraham Lincoln. Sometimes Abe and Sarah went to school. They had to walk many miles to get to the one-room schoolhouse. They could not go often. Abe borrowed books to study on his own. Soon he learned to read and write. He read all the time. Abe often read as he sat near the main road, watching people go by. He saw owners pass with their slaves, black men and women and children. Slaves worked hard in their owners' fields and houses. Owners did not pay the slaves for their work. When Abe was 7 years old, his family left the farm. His father decided to move from the south to Indiana in the north. In Indiana, land was cheap. In Indiana, people did not own slaves. The Lincoln family started a new farm. Abe grew tall and strong. By age 19, he was 6 feet and 4 inches tall. He worked hard on the farm. Neighbors paid him to work too on their farms. Abe chopped down trees, split logs, planted, and plowed. When he was 22 years old, Abe went off on his own. He had many different jobs. Once he worked on a flatboat. He brought farm goods to sell in New Orleans. Abe saw slaves being sold there. They wore heavy chains. Abe felt angry and sad. I still think this story is an informative narrative because it's telling me the events that happened during Abraham Lincoln's life and things that he did and things that he felt. And also at the very beginning, remember Abraham Lincoln had some dialogue, so he was talking. So that lets me know that he's also a character in the story, which makes it a narrative as well, informative narrative. Abe began to study law books. Eventually, he became a lawyer. People trusted him and called him Honest Abe. Later, Abe worked as a congressman. He helped to make good and fair laws. He gave speeches against slavery. "We must work to end slavery," he said. On November 6, 1980, Abraham Lincoln was elected the 16th President of the United States. People in the North cheered. People in the South did not. They did not want to be part of the United States anymore. They wanted to start their own country. They wanted to keep their slaves. On April 12, 1861, a great war began. It was called the Civil War. The states in the North fought the states in the South. The Northerners wanted to keep the country together. They wanted to end slavery. President Lincoln wrote an important paper in 1863. It freed millions of slaves in the South, but the war went on for 2 more years. President Lincoln made a famous speech at a battlefield in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. His speech was called the Gettysburg Address. In it, he said strongly that all people are created equal. Finally, in April of 1865, the Civil War was over. The North had won. The president was very happy. Today, All Americans are free because of Abraham Lincoln's hard work against slavery. Each year in February, flags wave high as we celebrate this great president. Now I want you guys to leave me a comment, and I want you to let me know if you think the story is an informative, a narrative, or an informative narrative, and I want you to give me your reason why you think that.